Hey everybody, it's your favorite man without a plan, Blackie Pueblo here, coming straight at you with some more useless knowledge and or ramblings and mumblings from my little brain. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that's pretty close to home and is a little more serious than some of my goofy videos that I've done before. Today I want to talk about why it sucks to be poor. Now, this isn't one of these videos that is, I want you to sit and feel sorry for me and woe is me or anything like that. This is more to present another viewpoint of being poor, as opposed just to the poor sitting there saying, "Oh, I want a flat screen TV," and "Oh, I'm jealous of people because they have new cars." There's a lot more to it than that. It seems to me that with the economy the way it is and the state of the world, it seems like the middle class is quickly fading away. There's quite the division here in the United States. It's getting to the point where you're rich or you're poor. And it shouldn't be that way, and I'm gonna spill some knowledge on you. Now first, nobody's taken away from the actual facts that yes, there are some people out there who just you can't help, who don't want to improve their life. Alright? There are those who sit on the couch and collect their welfare checks or whatever you want to call it, and there's no hope for them because they refuse to make their lives better. But there are some of us, the blue-collar workers, who struggle every day. Yes, there's the obvious that we struggle to pay our bills. We struggle just to take care of our family, which is the most important thing of all. A real man worries every day whether or not he can provide the roof over his head, whether or not he can feed his family, feed his wife, take care of his wife, keep his family healthy. That's the typical, and that's what a real man should worry about. Real men should worry about that kind of thing. Besides the bills and all, as you struggle every day, there's another aspect that people seem to forget when they tell you, hey, be thankful what you have, be thankful for this, be thankful what you got. The other aspect is life in general. People are real quick to say all the time, enjoy your life, enjoy life. That's what it's all about. We have to experience life. What people don't realize is when you're poor and you're struggling to get by and you're negative in the bank all the time, or you're struggling to either decide whether or not to pay for food or to actually go out and have some fun, what you don't realize is it takes money to do anything, especially with gas prices and all. You can't just say, hey, you want to go out to the museum today? Hey, do you want to go out to the park today? It costs money just to go from point A to point B nowadays. All right. The problem is when you're poor too, besides the bills and struggling to get by, people seem to forget that you're not experiencing life when you're poor. When you are stuck in your home all the time, there's no experience in life. There's no time to go out and have fun. So before you know it, it's a blur, and you look back at it and it feels like you've completely wasted your life. And it doesn't help either when you go on Facebook and you hear about how these people are doing so wonderful, and they're going out and they've gone out to museums and they've gone out to the beach, or they're going out of state, or they're going on vacations. That's great. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that's bad at all. In fact, we envy you. We blue-collar workers who struggle to get by, we envy you people. But the point is while the rich, or the upper class, so to speak, are doing so well, we're just struggling to get by. And I know people don't want to look at it that way, and they want to look at it as in you're just being negative. No, stop for a minute and think. How is anybody enjoying their life when all they do is worry about their bills? When they can't even afford to step out of the house? It makes you feel bad when you look at the woman you love and you can't take that person out. You can't spoil her like she deserves to be spoiled. It makes you feel like less of a man. When you go to your bank account and it's near empty, or you can barely pay your bills, or barely pay to buy food, it makes you feel less of a man. It makes you feel useless. It makes you feel like, what's the point of your life? Another aspect of enjoying your life is friends. What happens when you don't have the money anymore to hang out or do anything is friends stop calling. They stop calling because they know that you're never going to show up because you just don't have the cash. Because Friends don't want to just sit around your house and do nothing. They want to go out. And, I mean, everybody wants to go out. But eventually the phone calls stop, and your friends stop coming over, and you stop getting invited to things. And it hurts, but it's understandable because, again, everybody wants to experience life. They want to go out and do things. Nobody wants to just sit around. But you get left out, and before you know it, you feel like you don't belong anymore. It could be certain groups that you used to be members of or part of, and you start to hear about how friends used to get together and have dinners together, or they get together and just hang out together, but they didn't call you, or because one, you're a downer because you're such a downer and nobody wants to hang around a downer, but you're a downer because you just don't fit in with them anymore because you don't have the cash, you don't have the money. So friends stop calling, and before you know it, you feel alone. Sometimes people might say, wait a minute, if you have gas to go from this place to that place, then you have money to hang out, or you have money to do this. But what they're not thinking about is, you're doing what you're trying to do. You might be spending that money to go out, and you're trying to improve your life. You might be working a second job, or doing, it's not like you're driving out and blowing money, and then when time comes when somebody calls you and says, hey, do you want to hang out? You're like, no, I don't have any money, or I don't have any gas. It isn't fair for you to say, well, you had money last week, because they don't know this. You don't know the situation. You don't know what they were doing last week. They could be trying to improve their life. And it isn't always just an individual thing where it's all about a single person. Some of us actually want to do good in the world. Some of us want to help. Some of us want to help those less fortunate, and we know there are those less fortunate than us. And we want to help. We want to help others. But we can't, because we can't even help ourselves. We can't even take care of ourselves. And that just makes us feel even more worthless. Because at least if we're not experiencing life by doing stuff, maybe we can at least help other people. But then we can't even do that. And in the end, it comes down to, if you're poor, it's like you're disgusting. You're treated like you're second rate. And really, you are. There's less value in your life. You're less important. Because you don't make as much, or you're not in the upper class. So there's less value on you. In the end, really, everybody just wants to be happy. Nobody wants to look back on their life and say, I did nothing, I struggled to get by, and there's nothing worth remembering except for, being with my family in the house. We never did anything, we never went anywhere, we didn't experience life. And what's funny and sad at the same time is, and I don't mean to take anything away from anybody, but if you're disabled, the government helps you by giving you disability. When you're older, you can collect your retirement. If you have 6 kids and you just don't want to work, you can collect welfare. But if you're that guy that's just struggling and you do the right thing and you're working your ass off, there's no help for you. You're on your own. And it just seems a little unfair. So really, in the end, the whole problem and the whole thing that sucks about being poor is just life passes you by. And that's what's really sad. Because you want people to remember the great things in your life, and if you've never done anything but stayed home because you just can't afford it, it sucks, man. It really does. So just try to remember, okay, that it isn't always just the money, it's about life when you're poor, okay? People who are poor aren't always just complaining that I wish I had money to buy a flat screen TV, or I wish I had money to go to Paris. It isn't that. It's just enjoying life, period. Some of us miss out on some of that.